Good morning. I am so blessed to be here this morning because I woke up another day, and although it is not sunny, it's not raining, and it rained a lot yesterday, so I'm thankful for that. But our crops and things will need that as spring is coming quickly. My name is Lynn Thompson Giles. Let's see, are we moving? Why aren't we moving? Why aren't we moving? Okay, because I don't have it here. Oh, we're still not moving. Okay, I know this worked. Okay, all right. Lynn Thompson Giles, that's me. And I am a travel advisor. I have retired about 5 years ago from the Philadelphia school system, and I decided, okay, what can I do with my time? What do I like to do the most? Travel. Okay, so I said, well, I traveled with my Girl Scouts. I traveled with my students. I traveled when I worked at the Y, and I traveled when I worked with special populations. Maybe I should be a travel agent. So that's what I decided to do. I also have done a lot of training to be a travel agent. And one of the things that you train for is to be a certified pro travel agent. And that is with Apple Leisure Group Vacations. And it's all online. But one of the things that Apple Leisure Group specializes in is all-inclusives. So I know a lot about all-inclusives. Let's see. Okay, and that's me.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Why work with me? I could save you time because I do all the legwork and you don't have to. I definitely have been experienced. This year, let me tell you what's coming up. I'm going to Mexico, Cancun. I'm staying at two different sides of Cancun. I'll be talking about that in the fall. I'm going to Australia. I'm going to Detroit because I want to go to see Motown. I'm going to Paris, and I'm going to Ghana. So that's this year. So I've been a lot of places, but one of the things that I go when I go to Mexico in 2 weeks, I'm going to be staying at an all-inclusive. All right, so you know that. Save you money because I try to find deals for you, and I'll give you peace of mind so that if you're planning something and you are unsure about it, I mean, I've given you all the information. You tell me, I can walk you through it. So whatever's upsetting you or giving you a little, maybe I don't want to do that, I'll tell you why you should or should not do it, and then we can make a choice, an informed decision together. I have decided to specialize in trips for women. And when I say women, that does not mean I am not doing travel for males or children, but I want it from a woman's perspective. I want to make sure that all the little things that a female might want, she ensures on this vacation. So if she's an outdoor person, I'm going to get something that is hiking and biking and all that kind of stuff. But if she wants romance, I'm going to make sure to put in a massage and a candlelit dinner. So I try to make it so that the woman gets peace of mind. And if she's got children, she wants to go somewhere where the kids' clubs are well supervised. And if she's wants to go hang out with her girlfriends, we're going to go a girls trip, whatever it is, I'm here to help design your vacation. All right. All righty. Okay. All inclusive, what is it? It typically is a resort that covers all of your lodging. And the lodging can be a really tiny room facing the kitchen, or a beautiful room overlooking the ocean that has 3 doors, one leading out from your bedroom, one from your lounge area. It's very expansive. So they have many different types of room. When you see advertisements for all-inclusive, usually they'll say starting at. And that means that's the lower level, that room facing the kitchen. That's starting at that room. So you always want to make sure to ask your travel agent, or if it were me, I'd ask you, is it important for you to have an ocean view? Do you want a courtyard view? Do you want to be near the pool? Do you want to be centrally located? If you can't maneuver really well, do you not want to walk as far? All of those things go into picking your all-inclusive. Daily meals. If all-inclusives don't do one thing, they definitely feed you. You cannot, and I repeat, go hungry at an all-inclusive. They have food all day long. All day. And if you don't want the food that's on the regular menus, you can order room service. One of the things my husband loves to do when we go to all-inclusives in the islands is to order food at 3 o'clock in the morning because he can. Okay? Now, he does not need food at 3 o'clock in the morning, but he still orders it. Okay? And in some of the resorts, they have this little secret door where they don't come in and, because it's for couples, quote unquote, I don't know what you can't open the door, but it's a little secret door. They knock on your room, they put the food in the little thing so they don't even have to come in. So if you're on your honeymoon or you're on a special occasion and you don't want to see people, you never have to see people. Drinks. You can drink all you can there. I mean, all kinds of drinks. If you want smoothie drinks, they have them. If you want juice drinks, they have them. And of course, they have alcohol and specialty coffees. All of them have a little special coffee shop somewhere where you have somebody making the little frothy drinks and little cute pedophores. So drinks are available. Now, they tell you that gratuities are included, and they are. However, a couple of dollars goes a long way to make sure that your drink is always filled. They bring back extra French fries or whatever it is you need. If you do tip a little bit, you get slightly better service, but you do not have to. And anything you can get, not being on a resort, you generally can get at a resort in terms of like massages or going on excursions. They will offer you all of those things. It's amazing. You probably can't hear that. Let me raise that. Let me do that one again. This is at a all-inclusive in Africa, in Tanzania. That's one of their dining areas. And they were setting up our table. We had a group of 10 that went to Tanzania. Okay. All right, let's see. That shows you just a little bit of all the different things you could have at a all-inclusive. If you notice, they had lots of food and they took time to show you about the bars. You saw how expansive they are. Most all-inclusives are huge because what they did, especially in the Caribbean, is they had an area of land. So they bought all the land in the middle of nowhere and then built around the land so that you would have all of these beautiful beach experiences. It's all about the beach at most all-inclusive, unless you go to one that's in the mountains. then it's all going to be about the mountains. I'll do that again. Okay. So, all-inclusives versus self-catering. That's a picture of what I get when I go to a Hampton Inn or a Sonesta. So that means that I have to cook. I don't want to do that on vacation. I also don't want to make sure all of my foodstuffs are there. I don't want to go grocery shopping. You also have to clean up in many of these places. And you have to coordinate your own activities where if you're at an all-inclusive, all of these things are taken care of for you. Now, yes, I do arrange for people to rent villas, but when I do that, I'll arrange for a driver for you. I'll arrange for someone to come in and cook for you if that's what you want. And at the bare minimum, I'll arrange to have all of your groceries delivered. Because that's, if you're on vacation and you only have a week, you don't necessarily want to spend all that time acting like you're at home. Now, of course, there are all-inclusives where they come in and they clean up for you. I mean, not all-inclusive, self-catering where they clean up for you, but all those little things are at an extra charge. When you're in an all-inclusive, it's already there for you. Okay. All-inclusives versus half-board. Full board, you can expect most of your meals to be part of your stay, but it does not include snacks, okay? And generally does not include beverages. You have some options and services. For half board, you might just get 2 meals, either a breakfast and a dinner or breakfast and a lunch. So you have to really read what, if you're going to a different resort and it says half board, make sure you read what that half board includes. Because if you are a heavy drinker or you like specialty juices, then that might not be the type of vacation that you want. And I forgot to ask before I started, who's been to an all-inclusive? Nobody. Okay, great. All right. So,
Well, with Nassau, but that was not that good.
well, Nassau.
We had dinner and it was awful.
You had dinner and it was awful. Okay, we're going to talk about the food at all-inclusives too.
Well, that was a long, long time ago. I'm sure that everything changes.
Okay, I wanted to show you how big. And see, this one here is one. Down there's another one. So there's a whole row of them, usually on a beach. Okay.
That was more than 20 years ago. So.
Oh, well, hopefully they've gotten better in that time frame.
Thanks, so. Hope so.
Okay. There are many types. If you go to the Ryu, they have adult-only sides and they have kids sides. If you go to Sandals, they have things that are just for couples. If you go to Beaches, which is this family-friendly restaurant associated with Sandals, so all of your things are included, all your excursions, everything, if you go to Sandals or Beaches. I think he's quick. My grandson did this. The cons. Okay, he switched them. I can't believe he did that. But okay, let me go over them. And then you can be at the adults only side where you don't have to share a pool with kids. And they are usually, no, he didn't do it. And they're usually located near airports. So it's not a long drive to get there. Unless you are in Jamaica, for example, or St. Lucia. It is usually a 45-minute or an hour drive from the time you get to some resorts, from the time you land your plane till you get to your resort. So if you do get car sick or you don't like mountains, I wouldn't send you, if I found that out, I wouldn't send you to St. Lucia because it is extremely mountainous and it's a long drive to get to one of the Royaltons is in St. Lucia. is where I would send you if you were going to St. Lucia. The cons. You can feel really safe in a all-inclusive because they are usually gated. However, it also makes you not want to leave because everything is there. So you don't really get to find out what the culture is. All of the excursions, you can go to the excursion desk that's there, or I can plan the excursions beforehand. And unless you're really careful to pick something where you do get, for example, a cooking class or a demonstration of some kind, which is more culturally significant, you'll only get a cookie cutter version of the island. So you really have to pick wisely. And they will, in fact, have market days in the all-inclusive. So you never really have to leave the resort. If you don't want to, you can stay put, plan it, and that's it. And there are plenty of people who enjoy those kinds of vacations. Okay, and you do have to take shuttle buses to get to most of your tours. But there are some all-inclusives that are so close to an attraction. For example, Zoetry in the Dominican Republic, there's a horse stable right there on site. So you can go horseback riding. Now, I wanted to go horseback riding for years. My husband said, well, go ahead and go. So I went on this horseback riding on the beach. I wanted to be like Bo Derek, and not the hair, but I wanted to ride on that horse on the beach. That 45 minutes nearly killed me. Okay, because that horse was not paying any attention to me. That horse had a mind of its own, and I was through by the time I got finished. But it was all included. It was not an extra. And Zoetry also includes a free massage. So they're all about tranquility and zen. So each resort has its own little quirky thing about it. Okay, let's see this one. Let's see, attention to detail again.
Where's that?
Antigua. And there's that little coffee shop I told you about. And the expansive views. It's all about the view. So that particular one has its own little pool.
That's nice.
I want to lay on that thing right there. Pickleball, the new thing.
Yeah, I've been doing that, yeah.
And I liked you.
Yeah.
Okay. As you saw in that video, did you see the private dining where you could just have dinner for two? I always do those at, now they are extra. That's part of that extra that they don't tell you about. That is always extra. It's usually $100, $200, but it is usually very romantic. I just got married a year ago, so I'm into the romance. And my husband says, yeah, every time we go, we got to go to another one of those romantic dinners. And I said, yes, we do. But it's really secluded. It's usually in a secluded area. You have your own bartender that serves you and fills up your wine, and it's just a really special way if you have a special occasion. I've done it with my sister also. It's just a little nice thing. Which if you noticed in that particular clip, there were so many little nuances. That's all in one resort. So you have all of those different bars, all those different kinds of rooms, all of the atmosphere is all right there for you. So that's the con. You won't want to leave because you're already there. So they get all of your money in terms of your massages and anything that you want if it's not included, and most do not include massages. That was just that one. But massages are always a necessity at an all-inclusive. It's just something that people like to do. I mean, who doesn't like to be pampered? I do. Okay, food and drink. Everything's included. And like if you go on a cruise, and most cruises, not the one that you're going on Virgin Voyages, but most cruises, you have to pay extra for a soda package or a drink package. Everything is included in terms of drinks on a resort. There'll be a buffet usually for breakfast and lunch, which has a myriad of food. You cannot not find something to eat. I mean, from health enthusiastic granola with yogurt to eggs Benedict to avocado toast, everything is there. Specialty restaurants, and it's usually an upcharge. It may be just really $10. It may be $100 like the one that I talked about for private dining. But it also can be nothing. Many of them just say you just have to make a reservation. That's it. And there'll be a Asian restaurant. There'll be a germane to the particular area. So if you're in Mexico, it'll be a Mexican restaurant. When I was in Zanzibar, because of the Indian influence, there was an Indian restaurant there. There's usually a steakhouse. And it usually is a Brazilian steakhouse where they cut the meat off for you. And they also sometimes have a light fare, but everything's right there. And I mentioned free room service. You get 3 o'clock in the morning. My husband will be eating, and they usually restock your bar. There's a bar in your room. So I mean, it'll be filled with beer, with soda, some kind of white liquor, and some kind of brown liquor, either tequila or rum or vodka, if that's what you want. If you don't want any of those things, you can tell them that's fine. You don't have to stock it. We don't want it. So it's up to you. The cons. The food is sometimes only fair. It depends on the resort that you go to. If you go to a Charisma resort or a Generations resort, they specialize in gourmet meals. This particular one that I showed you, it said it was Michelin star restaurants. So if you're a foodie, I'm not going to send you to a less expensive resort and then you're going to be unhappy with the food. Right. If your budget is Michelin star budget, I'm going to send you to a Michelin star budget resort. So that's why it's important to have a conversation to find out if you really don't care, like my husband who eats at 3 o'clock in the morning, then we end up weighing it. For me, it has to have some restaurants that are, I'm sorry, I didn't turn my phone on. Excuse me. Some restaurants that are higher end, but also he loves a buffet, so we're always sometimes at that buffet. I prefer people to serve me, but that's only because I'm lazy. And the resorts cater to tourists, so that means you'll get the same kind of food you get here, there, because they don't necessarily encourage you to try eating the cuisine of the culture. Unless they have a special Caribbean night or a Mexican night or And even now Iceland, there was only restaurants, so there wasn't a particular night. But it's always tampered down. If you eat a Mexican, when we went to Cabo, we went into town. The food was so much more alive and spicier because they weren't necessarily catering just to American or European palates. They were catering to the culture that's there. A lot of people, if they go to an all-inclusive, say, I'm not going out off because I paid for each one of my meals. Well, if you're going to a different country, try it. I mean, you can go, there are taxis that will take you. You ask the concierge, what is a restaurant that is, if you like seafood. I mean, my husband really does love seafood. So we always go to a local seafood restaurant. They're not going to send you in an area that is negative because they sign you in and sign you back out at all inclusives. So if you don't come back, they know where you went. So they're not going to send you anywhere where you would, or at least they would not try to send you anywhere where something negative would happen. Because you hear about people going to Mexico or Jamaica and negative things happen. But those are the people who are going out at 3 o'clock in the morning to get non-appropriate substances or trying to augment their body by going to some little shack somewhere. I mean, we're all adults and you make wise choices. I mean, we all live in or near the city of Philadelphia. There are places here that we wouldn't necessarily go at 3 o'clock in the morning either. So we have to use our own common sense. But if you have teenagers, they can eat themselves silly there. My grandson found that pizza place and he planted himself right there. Pizza, pizza, pizza. One slice is enough. Okay. All right. This is a short video of Zanzibar. Those are some of the foods that were out there. See, I was trying to be healthy and eat salads. But I just want you to realize there's a lot of food. It's not like little tiny amounts. There's lots and lots of foods. And there'll be a station over there and a station over there. So you cannot go hungry. This is one long salad bar. I have no idea what that even is, but that's what it is. But everything was good. I tried everything. I'm one of those folks who's got to give it a try. All right. And the other one is my husband and I at the specialty of the dinner for two. This was in a small gazebo area. If you went out that door, there was the beach there, and there were chairs there, and it was all lit up by candlelight, and it was really, really very romantic. So I enjoyed it, and I always get somebody to take a picture. Okay, activities and services. You cannot find, you have to be able to find something to do there. They have yoga on the beach. You can go out on jet skis. You can dance. You have dance classes by the pool, go horseback riding, art classes for kids, go on a glass mountain boat, go on a catamaran, go kayaking, go parasailing, go snorkeling, go visit the casino, spend the day in the spa, go get your hair done in the salon, work out in the resort gym, dance the night away in the nightclub, daily housekeeping service, and some of them even do turn down service with a little chocolate. Yeah. So if you have to be a rock not to find something to do. And it's okay to be a rock too, because there's always some place to lounge. Always. So, do you think you could find something to do with an all-inclusive? What do you like to do the most?
Outdoor activity, like kayaking.
Okay.
I
And
have hiking, but we have problem.
Okay. All right.
He's not mobile, and I'm more active.
Oh, okay. So we should go together, and he can sit with my husband,
Yeah.
and you and I can go kayaking. Do you play chess, sir?
No.
I'm sorry?
You play chess?
Do you play chess?
No.
No.
No? Okay. Well, he can teach you. He plays chess.
He paints, so sometimes
Oh.
they have art.
Oh, yes. I mean, and you could bring some of your brushes and things, or rent them if that's what you want, because the landscapes are beautiful. So that's some of the things you could do. But the water sports that you mentioned, everything that is not motorized is usually included. So non-motorized water sports are included. Not the parasailing, though. That's usually extra.
Yeah.
But that's fun. The cons. Oh, I didn't ask you. What do you like to do?
Well, I have been snorkeling and I do enjoy that. Being in the water.
Being in well,
Yeah.
as you can see, they're all usually surrounded by water.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different things you can do. Snorkeling is great. It's really wonderful. The cons. You're stuck with the same people. Okay, for that week you'll see the same people. So if you end up not liking somebody and they're obnoxious or they're loud or they take all of the popcorn as soon as it gets put in the bowl, you're stuck with that particular group of people. Sometimes it is loud. Sometimes it's harder to find a quiet place. If you're that kind of person who likes quiet places, you might want to bump up your reservation to get a preferred club status, which is usually away from the louder music and the people who like to do the dancing and all that stuff. And it's usually a quieter group, laid back, plenty of lounge space. They usually have their own specialty little restaurant or a clubhouse, but that's all in what you talk to your advisor about, what it is that you like to do, so that he or she, hopefully me, will get you exactly what you want. Okay. And sometimes the tour directors are really pushy. It's time for bingo. Come on, everybody, come on, it's time for bingo. And some people don't know how to say no. Just say no, you don't want to play bingo. Or, no, I don't want to go on that excursion. I've done enough. And speaking of excursions, make sure you read the fine print about the excursions, because sometimes they are an hour away from something. When they say it's just a couple of hours, it's an hour and a half each way going, and you're only going to spend an hour at whatever it is, the attraction that you're going to. Ask specifically, how long will we be doing this? And then make your decision. I mean, you may be, what you want to see may be really far out, but if that's what you want to see, but you want to know in advance. And speaking of which, I'm going to Australia in April. So my sister and I were going over what excursions to do. And everything that said 8 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours, we just said no. But then I said, well, we have to really take a look at where we're at, where the cruise ship is docking. It really did take a while to get to what we wanted to see. Nothing was really under 4 hours. So we had to decide to do one of those, because I want to see, they have a lot of penal colonies in Australia. I had no idea. So I want to see them all. So we're going to go see them. Why would you put a kid in a penal colony? I mean, they had the penal colonies for the men and the women and children. But I'll talk about that when I come back and talk about Australia in the fall.
Yeah.
From other country.
Okay. This is what some of the activities. I'm a scuba diver, so I went scuba diving. This is my sister and I. We were hiking. And this was at my wedding last year. We were in Cancun and we were all toasting because I did an all-inclusive. So there will be wedding parties there. There can be conventions there. They host everything. But the scuba diving was right on all I had to do was go 15 minutes in a bus that they provided. Now that cost extra, but it was right there included. And a lot of them will give you an intro course to something. Would you like to try scuba? Would you like to try snorkeling? They'll do it in the pool for you first. And then when you go, then they'll offer you an excursion to do it off-site. This one was only 10 minutes away. We took a bus somewhere. I don't even know where we were. But no, I know where that was. We were in one of the spice places. It was another cruise, and that was in Cancun. And I'm going back there. Okay. Prices and packages. They can be very economical, but they can be very pricey. It depends on what you want. I can offer you a package where you get your airline, your transfers, and your accommodations, and even some tours, all in one price, and you can pay for it over time. Mm-hmm. But that's only if you're willing to, to work with somebody and speak about it. I've mentioned all the time, read all the fine print. Some things are not included some places. Wi-Fi, they may say Wi-Fi is available, but it's only available in common areas. If you're somebody who's addicted to your phone, you won't like it because you can't use it in your room. Some dining experiences do cost extra. And this is the way they recoup some of their money. For all the freebie stuff they give you, they try to get you to go on a timeshare experience. They try to get you to book more than one massage. They'll give you money off if you're booking more. So read the fine print, find out what it is that they're offering, and see if it really is a deal. And as I said, just say no thank you. No thank you is a full sentence. You don't need to do it. Okay. All-inclusives are also in the USA.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Also in the USA.
Okay, I'll do.
There are many in the USA that are in the West and also down along Florida area, and some up in New England. In these that I mentioned here, there's one in Key Largo, one in Tennessee, one in Maine, there's one in Pennsylvania, and one in Montana.
Oh, gotcha.
They all offer you the same thing that the all-inclusives do in the Caribbean. But they're not going to be situated usually on an expansive beach. They'll be more like this one, where there is a main lodge house and then smaller cabins connected with it. There will usually be mountains in the background. There'll usually be a lake. I know that I have gone to dude ranches in Pennsylvania where they had, the horses were running down. They ran the horses every day. There was an archery range. There was a wine tasting. There was tea. It just depends on where you want to go, the activities that will be offered. But once again, even in the USA, you have to read the fine print. It may only be that half board that I was talking about. What area of the country do you want to go in the US?
Maine, Vermont.
Okay, up in the New England area.
Maybe out west.
Yeah, I'll just.
So so you go twice, okay? We'll make it easy for you. He gets one, you get one. But you just have to. You give me a call. We'll talk about the things that you want to do, and the experience. So out west, you might want to see some of the iconic things that are there. Mount Rushmore or some of those kinds of things. You might want to do a all-inclusive where you spend some time at a ranch and then take a train through places out west. In up in New England, you might want to look at the mountainside and some of those things. But you also might want to do some hiking. You also, especially up there in New England, they have plenty of spas, okay? Because they have a lot of rich soil and the spring things coming up. So you can do all of these things. And you don't have to pay for the airfare unless you're going to Montana, sorry. But a flight to Vermont is a lot less inexpensive than going down to the Bahamas or Antigua or something like that. But the experience will not be the expansive thing that you saw on those videos. It will be a lot more cozy. It'll be warm. They're working on a family. They're mostly family run kind of things, but it can be just as luxurious as some of the things that you saw. So you just have to let me know. I wanted to explain to you what all-inclusive actually meant, but you can go to an all-inclusive just about anywhere. There are not very many in Europe, but they are in different parts of the continent of Africa. There's many in South America, the Caribbean, and in the USA. I don't know any that I've seen in, Canada. When I was in a couple of spots in Canada, there were none. There were some that just had the European breakfast. That was it. And it was just a croissant, which was...
Oh, no, there's some...
I said I had it. Okay. So, you'll have to tell me when this is over so I can broaden my scope here. Okay. And recapping. Let's see if it comes up on its own. Nope. Okay. They usually save money and it's a good value. You don't have to do a lot of planning. I do the planning for you, or the resort has done the planning for you. They have a list of activities all day long. You can do things at an all-inclusive that you might not do anywhere else. So try that paddle boarding. Nobody's going to see you fall off. You'll never see those people again. That's stand-up paddle boarding. Okay? Try that dance class where you're learning some kind of ethnic dance and nobody's going to know that you didn't do well. You should have seen me on a cruise ship. It was really bad. You'll definitely have a full belly the whole time. Food is plentiful. Very, very plentiful. And it's usually, especially when the Dude Ranch I went on, the food was really homey. There was mashed potatoes that tasted like my Nana made them. So they were really good. Oops. I have to hit it just right. Ooh. Okay. Stress-free. You unpack, you get your list of activities to do every day. You can say, okay, I'm not doing that, and that. I'm just going to hang out. Relatively safe, as I said. You stay within the compound, you'll be fine. You go out of the compound, more than likely you'll be fine too. Use your sense, You're there with like-minded people. Everybody who's there wants to have a good time. So you might find every time I go on vacation, I find a retired teacher. And we're usually giving directions to people. No, this is open over here. So that's what I find. And my husband's a retired postal worker. He always finds postal workers. I mean, it must be some kind of sense going on that they do. There are so many options. I mean, the list goes on all day long. I mean, including some disco that is at 3 o'clock in the morning that I'm never awake for. And the entertainment is usually very, very good. There's entertainment every night. So sometimes, and I said usually, sometimes you'll get one bad entertainment person, but for the most part, they're pretty good because they got to entertain people all week. So, you know, they work really hard at it. And they usually bring in, once again, people from the particular culture to do some kind of demonstration. They'll have a steel band, they'll have stilt walkers, whatever it is, they'll have it. They'll probably have a white night party. They'll probably have an afternoon tea or a wine tasting. Or if you're on a dude ranch, you might want to make some kind of dessert. Everything that you could possibly think of in terms of entertainment would be available. Okay. Cons, it discourages you from leaving the resort. Everything is right there. But if you've taken all this time to go to St. Lucia, don't you want to see the Pitons, which are the big mountains? Mm-hmm. I wanted to walk on that crater. My husband didn't, but I did. Okay. Eludes you from local culture, so you're not in the mix. You're usually away from the local culture. They'll bring it in, but you're not experiencing it firsthand. Sometimes it can lead to overindulgence. So if all the liquor is there, you can drink all the liquor you want, then some people get a little tipsy. And then some people eat too much, like at a 3 o'clock in the morning person that we talked about. And I'm a dessert fiend. When there's a whole station full of desserts, half of which are chocolate, and chocolate is my thing, it definitely leads to overindulgence. And you're stuck with the same people throughout your stay. If you're not liking this group of 18 retired teachers who keep telling you what to do, you're really stuck with them. Unless you find out from the concierge, what time are they eating? So that I can eat at a different time. Okay, and you need travel insurance. Wherever you travel, you need to be insured. You don't know what could happen. Everything happens. Life happens and disrupts your plans. Unexpected, your roof falls in. You can't go. Even if it's just a short trip, if you're just going somewhere for a couple of days, but you spent $2,000 on it, you want to be covered for that trip. If you lost your passport, if you have travel insurance, there's a number you can call where you can try to get some help to get that passport. I'm going to tell you before you leave, you take a picture of all your documents, it's on your phone, at least you have something to prove that you are a U.S. citizen. So that when you go to the embassy, they have something, they have your numbers. Always have copies of your numbers. You lost your bag. I was in Europe with another group, and the lady left her handbag in Italy on top of her suitcase to get a souvenir. I looked at her and I said, Italy is really known for gypsies, especially in Rome. What were you thinking? So it took her all day. She had to go to the consulate. She had to get stuff, but she had insurance, so there was money available for her to do the things that she needed to do. Evacuation insurance. If you are a senior and you are out of the USA, most insurance coverage does not cover you. So if you are in, let's say, the Bahamas, and you fracture your leg, and they really want to do an operation, but you're not quite sure of the people in the Bahamas to do your operation, and you want to be airlifted back to Florida because there's a specialist there that you saw on the news, that's about $20,000. And unless you have the $20,000, you're not going to be able to get that airlift. But if you have your insurance, most of them cover evacuation. You look on the fine print. Once again, everything's about fine print. It's about, most of them are $50,000. So that you can get airlifted wherever you need to go. And I want to thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed your travel talks.
Yes.
Are there any, sorry, bad teacher, are there any questions?
No, but a business card so we can
Okay.
contact you.
All right, I have a business piece of paper because my business cards, I'm changing my name. I used to be Travel, Lynn 115 Travel. Now I'm Travel Design by Lynn. And I haven't got my new business cards. But you can always reach me, since we still are recording, at Lynn, Lyn, at 115travel.com. So thank you very much, and I'll make sure to give you some information.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.